Hello, I hope you are doing well. As you can see that today's tutorial is about HTML and I'm going to talk about all the important tags of HTML. So after watching this video you will have full knowledge about HTML. So in order to use HTML you need some editor. You can use Notepad++, Sublime Text or Visual Studio Code. I personally recommend you Visual Studio Code or Sublime Text. In this tutorial I am going to use Sublime Text and I will show you how you can download it. Just go to your browser, search Sublime Text and then click download, and you will see something like this. After clicking, if you are a Windows user, then download from here. If Linux, then download from here. Okay, let's get started. Now first of all we will create a folder and I will name it as HTML test. Okay, now I will open the Sublime and I will name it as index.html and save it inside that folder that I just created. Now there's a lot of benefit using Sublime Text, that if you write a fast tag, it will automatically generate the other tags or the ending tags. Like just if you write HTML and press enter, it as you can see, it automatically generates some text, some tags. I will describe all those tags right now. First of all, you can see doc type HTML. It means I am going to write HTML, and every HTML tag has an opening and a closing. You can see a tight head. Inside head there is title and there is a body part. Now inside head we normally link our CSS page or bootstrap, and inside the title we give our page title, and let's call it HTML homepage. Control S. Now we will go to our folder HTML test and double click this index. Here you can see HTML homepage over here, which was our title, which I write inside here. And if you want to change the icon, you just have to write link and inside the rel just say icon, icon, and inside that this href you have to give the image source. Now I already have downloaded some image source. If you want to download icon, just write icon, search it and download from here. Okay, I already have downloaded some icon and I will just copy it. I have this icon and I will also copy this image because I am going to use this image after a while. I will just paste it inside this folder. You need to be careful all the time that all the image or the file that you are using inside this code, you have to put it inside the same folder, which is HTML text. Okay, my image name was icon. Yes, icon.png. It was .png. Okay, let's save it, let's run it. Okay, you can see a running man over here. Now there are some other tags which you write inside the head, and I will talk about it at the end of the video. Now first I would like to talk about the body part right now. Okay, the first tag is h on, which is the you might have to use it a lot of time. Okay, home, left side home. If I refresh it, you can see home. Now that font text is quite big, right? Now if you want a little bit smaller, then you can use H2. which is a little smaller than this. Now let's refresh it. You can see home. Okay, you always have to save the code before refresh over here. Just remember that. Now h1, now this h tag is h1 to up to h6. I will show you every one of them. Let's write the same thing, home. Okay, h4 home, h5, and the last tag, last h6, and home as well. Let's save it, and you can see that h1 is the biggest and h6 is the smallest one. Now let's say you want to add a paragraph in your web page. So for that you have to write a p tag, and over here you can say this is my home page. Let's just copy it and paste it over and over again. Save it. Okay, you can see a paragraph. Now if you want to write like market text, just you have to say mark and say mark this line, and it will mark this line in yellow tag, in yellow color. And what if you want to like cross the line, then you have to write tail cross this line. Save it, run it. You can see a cross line. Okay, let's add another paragraph so that it looks a little better. Okay, now if there is one more tag which is called deletion, let's say which help you like divide some content from another from other content. I will just show you a basic one. Let's put it over here, and you can see that there will be a division over here. Okay, now I will show you how you can add a picture or image. For that you have to write img and press enter, and you have to give the image source. Now I already took a picture or image here which is called image, so I'll just write it image dot. Now that image or jpg file. Okay, let's run it. You can see the image over here. If you want to resize it, you can write width, let's say 250, and height, let's say 150. Save it. Let's see. Okay, you can see it that the size just decrease a little. Now if you want to add a video, then just write video, press enter, and you just have to give the video source. I already downloaded a video for this tutorial, so I'll just copy that video and put it inside my HTML test folder, because if the video is in another folder, then this will not work. Now the video name was video.mp4 video.mp4. Let's save it. Now it will give a very big image over here, as you can see. So we need to fix the height and width. So width will be the same as the width will be 200, and height will be 150. Save it. Okay, you can see the video over here, but still you cannot play it. So if you want to play it, you have to write a or controls. Right now you will have an option to play this video. If you click it, the video will automatically started. There is a mode option, and there you can resize it. Okay, that's our video. Okay, if you want to autoplay this video, then you just have to write autoplay. If you can mute it as well, muted the video automatically, and also loop the video. For that you just have to write loop. Let's save it. Now the video should automatically start. You can see that the video automatically start and the sound is muted and the video will loop after ending. Just a second and the video started again. Okay, now now the tag I am going to talk is anchor tag, which is used a lot. So for this you have to give a link inside over here. So I will use a write YouTube. Okay, I'll just copy it and put it inside this href, and I will say here YouTube. Now it should give me a link. If I click it, the video will start it over here. Now I don't want to leave this page, so for this just write target, and inside over here say blank. Now if I click it, it will open, the YouTube link will open in another tab. So this is pretty useful. So there is one more way of using anchor tag, that if you want to go from one page to another, just say page 2.html. now I don't have any page 2.html, so I have to create page 2. So for this I will go to file, then click new file, and then save as. I will say it page 2.html. Save it, and I will write over here, let's give it a bigger look. Okay, my page 2. Let's save it. Let's save it as well. Now let's run it. Okay, you should see another link which is page 2. If you click it, it will take you to page 2. Now if you want to do the same just like you did with the YouTube link, just say target and blank. Save it, run it, click it, and it open in a new tab. Okay, now I'll talk about entities. So for entities, you have to I just delete this one. So for entities you have to write tag form, press enter. Now I will create a form like normally you see in a web page that you have to sign up. You see a username and password option. Now I will just create it. I will say level, I will say username, then I will say input type text, name is equal to username. Save it, let's run it. Okay, you can see a username and option where you can write something. Okay, if you click username, nothing happened. It should take my cursor automatically over here, right? So for this you have to write for, let's say user, here id is equal to user. Now if I click it, it automatically take me over there. Now let's go for a how you can write a password. Okay, here I say password pass, so pass, and input type will be password. So if you give the input type password, it means whatever you write you cannot see actually save it, refresh it. As you can see another option. Now if you write something, you cannot actually see anything. Okay, it doesn't look better, so I will add a tag something like this, PR, so it will create a gap over here. Okay, it's look a little better. Now I will add a tag which is called submit. Input type will be submit. Okay, I will name it submit as well. Let's refresh it. Now you can see a button over here. Now if I say something, write something and write a password 1234 and submit it, it will submit it, and you can see the value over here that username is equal to Yamin. I give the password 1234 and submit is equal to submit. Now if you want to add a date option or a time option or a radio button, you can add them as well. I will show you that as well. Input type, this time it will be time, name is equal to time. Now for date, you just have to type is equal to date. That's common sense. Okay, let's just refresh it. You can see the time option and the date option. Let's just copy it and put it over here, so that a gap created which will make it a look, may give it a better look. Okay, if you want to add a radio button, you just have to write input type is equal to radio. Let's say age, name is equal to age. Let's give it a value. Value will be 25. Just saying. Okay, let's call it age 25. Now let's add another one. Let's say 15. Save it. Let's run it. You can see a radio button. Okay, I should do it after submit. Okay, you can see a radio button over here. So okay, there is one more which I like to show is select option. Just write select, then write option inside it. Okay, it should be option. Save it. Now let's give it a value. Its value will be let's say male. Here male. We'll just copy it, paste over here. Now instead of male we say female. Save it, run it. You can see right now more option over here: username, password, time, date, radio button, male or female, and the submit button. Now I miss one more things, which is email option, which I would like to put over here. Just copy it. Okay, now for email, let's just say here email. Now over here we will say email, user ID will be email, and the text type, which is the important thing, will be email. Okay, now the benefit of this, that you cannot if the type is email, it means you cannot give anything but email. If you write let's your name over here. It will not work actually. I'll show you. Okay, let's give it some date, age 25, let's say male. Now it will give me a error over here. If I click submit, it will say no, you have to give an email. So I'll just give it an email and press submit, and you will see all the data that I just submitted. That username is equal to email, email is equal to something yamin@gmail. Okay, password, date, age, time, you can see everything over here. Okay, right now okay, that's all about entities. Right now if you have to add a table inside your web page, how you can do it, I will tell you. Normally you don't have to use table inside a web page. It's pretty rare, but sometimes it may be useful, sometimes you may have to use it. So for making a table, you have to say table, press enter. Now every table has some row, column, and table head and table data. So for table row, you have to write tr, press enter, and inside this tr I will add some table head. For table head, let's say name, and now in another round table head, let's say age, and I will use another one which will be salary. Now this one is called table head. You can see name, age, and salary. Now I need to add some data over here. So for data, so you have to write inside table row that, so the table head was th, so the table data will be td. Press enter. Let's say my name is Yamin, and I will add another table. Okay, let's say age will be 25, and the salary will be 25k as well. Let's save it. Okay, let's add some more so that it gives us a little bit better look. Ctrl S, save, and just refresh this web page. You can see name, age, salary over here. Okay, that's all about HTML. Now I'll talk about something that you have might sometimes you have to write inside a head, which is meta tag. Now meta tag chart set UTF-8. You have to write this so that if you write this, your browser will be understand your code a little bit better. So if you don't write it, it may not create any problem, but sometimes it might do. So I recommend you to always write this part. And there is one more, which is meta name is equal to description, and content is equal to, okay, let's say this is a home page, the same thing for HTML, and let's just copy it. Okay, now what I did is that I added description and the content. Normally if you search something on online, you can see a description and a content like this. So I just did the same, that when you will upload this on the web server, then this will show in your page. When someone search something, search your page, this will show. Okay, okay, there is one more, the last tag I would like to talk about, which is pretty important, and that is meta name is equal to viewport, content is equal to width is equal to device width, comma initial scale is equal to 1. Okay, what it does that at the beginning software or web page was made for desktop only, but right now we are using our web page on our mobile or our tablet, so the width of our device changes. So what it does is that it helps our code, so our web page to if even if your device is smaller or bigger a skin, it will help your web page a better look all the time. Okay, that's all in this video. I hope whatever I tell you have enough knowledge, you always understand everything. And if you like this video, please click on the like button, and please subscribe for my future tutorial as well. Thank you.